Good morning. Happy Friday. I wanted to share a visual that this is what helps me with understanding people, communicating, relating. You know, a lot of times people say actions speak louder than words. But it seems like in a lot of instances, your actions are good, 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 and then you say something that is misunderstood, and then somebody will ride with that. Well, you said, and no matter how hard you try to explain, sometimes because it's all relative, right? That's where the projecting part comes in. Now, if you're in a relationship with someone and you can't even trust what they're telling you, then that's a little bit of an issue. But I'm going to use the glass half full, half empty analogy. Now, I know this is supposed to be some kind of psychological thing that if you see a glass, and this is supposed to determine whether you're a positive or negative person. And as I said before, a lot of times I take things a little bit deeper. So here's a glass that is halfway filled with water, but it's the intention. When it comes to people, what is their intention? So if someone says something, you have to, and depending on how you take it, if it doesn't seem right, a lot of times it's not, right? Especially if you know the person. But you also have to look at their character, what they've said before, and what is their intention. So here I have a glass full of water and a glass that's empty. Now if I take and fill this glass halfway, and my intention is to fill this glass up and empty this one, well, with that intention, this glass is now half empty because that's my intention. This glass is half full because that's my intention. So if I finish the process, now that one's full and this one's empty. So it's all about intention. What is a person's intention? And listening to understand. I know I have been misunderstood. I've misunderstood people. You know, they say things, depends on where you're at, how you're feeling that day, and you hear something and you're like, ah. Then again, it depends on, and what's going through my mind is like the political climate. When someone says something, depending on which side of the fence you're on and who's saying it, you think their intentions are horrible, so whatever they say is horrible. And that's, you know, that's kind of whatever, because that's politics. But when it comes closer to relationships and family and friends, it's more important, right? Because these are the people that you deal with, and you want to know what their true intention was. Did they say that to hurt you? And then you have to have that trust when you do address a situation and say, what was your intention for saying that? And when they tell you, you got to have that trust. You got to have that trust that what they're telling you, they mean. Because without that, what do you have? So I can tell you, this is how I feel, this is what I meant, but if you're not going to believe me, then I feel shut down. I feel like, well, it doesn't matter what I say. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, and that's true. You know, something that was going through my head the other day is compliments. How do you take compliments? If somebody gives you a compliment or gives you something, do you say thank you? Do you appreciate it? Or do you like, oh, no, I look horrible today, or this whole thing? You might not realize it, but you shut people down and you push them away when you don't trust what they say or accept what they say. And I feel like this happens a lot in relationships. I see it with other people when I observe how they talk to each other, their facial expressions, their mannerisms when something's said. And it really baffles me sometimes because, I mean, relationships, when I look at people in a relationship, I'm expecting harmony. And when I see that discord, I'm like, wow. And then if it, over years of that building up, of the lack of trust of what you're saying, me believing you what you say, me thinking that your intentions are something other than what they are, it builds up. It's like cholesterol in the arteries. Those veins shut down and then you have a heart attack. And as a symbolism, that's what happens to relationships. They break down. So, and this is true with anything that goes on in your life. Use your feelings, because your feelings will make you feel a certain way. You'll be like, ah. But observe your feelings. Step back, say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Am I feeling this way because I'm having a bad day, or am I feeling this way because that person really is trying to be mean to me? Then if it's someone close to you, it says, okay, well, this person really wouldn't want to do that to me. Let me find out what their intentions are. Well, what did you mean by that? And then when they tell you, then the decision is, do I believe it or not? But hopefully, if you're in a relationship with someone and they tell you something, you can believe it. Otherwise, it's not a good relationship anymore. And you tend to push people away that way. So, but this also gives you a peace of mind with people outside of you, like say as somebody at a store or co-workers or whatever. People may not have a bad intention, but you think they do until you step back and you really look at it. Were they filling the glass up, or were they trying to empty the glass? What are their intentions? So I hope that made sense. It makes sense to me, and it helps me keep my emotions from being on a roller coaster. Or the emotions are there, my reactions to it being on a roller coaster, because I can step back now and say, well, this is somebody that loves me. They're not doing this intentionally. And like, for example, if you don't get a text back right away or a call back right away, or a lot of us, sometimes it's because we're a little bit insecure. We think that, they're trying to ignore us or something. I always give everybody in every situation the benefit of the doubt. I think for the best. Trust but verify. Then after time, if I see a pattern of, okay, well, this continues to happen, and I see something else going on, you have to be aware of that. You can't just go through life saying, oh, everything's great and everybody loves me, everybody's wonderful. But at the same time, you can't blame people for stuff that someone else has done to you in your past, or something else that's happened, or things you see on TV. You can't blame other people for that. So it's life. It's every day. Thank God we get up and our lungs work and our eyes blink and our heart works. We don't have to think about it, right? But there are things in life that we have to think about if we're wanting to keep our mind clear, and that helps with the health too. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day.